This is Stolen ATV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and welcome into the Sunday edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion. Yes, we've already had some discussion here on the channel today, but that's more personal about what I'm going to do when the Oilers go pop off the cup and, after things resume July 30th and we go on a crazy run and celebrate, victory in the Stanley Cup final. I know I've already done multiple kind of videos discussing that kind of stuff, so why not discuss some more Stanley Cup stuff today, shall we? Right? You know what? It takes heroes to win a Stanley Cup. And I've already talked about having an X factor, right? You talk about heroes, X factors, all those kind of things when it comes to playoffs. And an X factor I've already talked about is Joakim Nygard because of what he brings in the penalty drawing. The speed, the dynamic skills that he has, just needs the chance to put them together and be healthy enough to put them together. He's my X factor. Now today what I'm going to do is rank my top 5 likely playoff heroes. And so you talk about X factors, well, right, for the Oilers probably back in my 05-06 season that I so fondly remember, the X factor that year, probably a Chris Pronger, right? A guy who just went in there and steady-eddied it the whole way through to the Stanley Cup final Game 7 loss. But you know what, right? You talk your heroes, you had Pisani, you had your Rollisons, you had everybody. Seriously, actually, you know what? I shouldn't even use 05-06 because you go back to that team, you could name absolutely everybody as an X factor or hero because that team seriously had no business doing what they did. They just worked their butts off to be there. So shut up, Tyson. Do my homework. That's a great line, actually, discussing something from that video I did about being an Oilers fan. But, right, is just simply, forget 05-06. So, you know what? 05-06, we'll move on. 16-17, X Factors and playoff heroes. How about Zach Kassian? X Factor for sure. You know what? Ignite a rally and get it going. But Leon Draisaitl, if you didn't see that stat from the Oilers this morning, or it was from the NHL, it was from somewhere. But Leon Draisaitl is like one of very few players in Oilers history to get 16 points in his first 13 playoff games, something like that. And it is an absolute who's who of the dynasty years on that list. So go look for that on Twitter. Just search up Leon Draisaitl. I don't know where I found it. You can find it. It's not hard. It's Twitter. So that said, right, I draw the separation. Zach Kassian types to Leon Draisaitl types, and that's what we'll get going with the heroes versus X Factor thing today, but focus on the likely heroes for the 2019-2020 Stanley Cup tournament playoff run. I don't even know how to gear this up anymore. So let's get into number 5, shall we? I've ranted for 5 minutes, long enough. Number 5, you didn't just acquire him at the trade deadline for nothing. I think that seriously, if he gets that top line time with Connor McDavid, we find that perfect fit, that perfect mix on the top line, whether it be Zach Kassian, whether it be Andreas Athanasiou, whoever it might be up there with with Connor McDavid, maybe even a Joakim Nygard. You can have one heck of a run out of a playoff hero if it comes true, like Tyler Ennis, right? Tyler Ennis, I think, would be closer to your Fernando Pisani type playoff hero compared to Leon Draisaitl from 16-17, but right, look at that, right? Tyler Ennis, a guy that was acquired for dirt cheap at the deadline, a guy that can come in, make an impact, and he did some stuff for us already this season. I think Tyler Ennis is primed to be that guy that succeeds if he gets that top line time, finds another winger with Connor McDavid, and realistically, right, if you're going to benefit from Connor McDavid in the playoffs, you're going to look like one smart heck of a guy, and that's where Tyler Ennis comes in as a likely hero should he get that top line time, and that's why he's on number 5. He's probably not there, and obviously you're going to see this list. It's probably arguable, but I just wanted to throw together a list, give you some reasons, and see where we go. So Tyler Ennis, a guy I feel could make an impact, but number 5 on the list because does he get the time, doesn't he? Now, number 4 on my list, this one, oh yeah, this one makes sense, all right? This one makes a lot of sense. James Neal, playoff hero. Yeah, you can hear it, right? Because, right, James Neal, heck of a guy on the power play, and I mean, hey, Power plays are going to be hard to come by in the playoffs. James Neal knows how to jam it in front of the net to the back of the net. So, hey, you know what? If we can get that on the power play, direct pucks on net, and have James Neal banging in every second or third power play a goal, well, you know what? He could easily become a hero. And the reason I say power play is, right, where was James Neal as a hero earlier this year in that 5-1-1 run that we had to start the year? Or was 7-1-1? Sorry, that's almost 10 months ago. 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Anyway, right, James Neal. He was electric to start the year. He's fully rested, fully ready to go. First playoffs in a while, he's been fully ready to go. Yeah, you betcha. If James Neal isn't a likely playoff hero for the Edmonton Oilers come July 30th and beyond to that Stanley Cup, because hey, he could be a reason why the Oilers win the Stanley Cup, right? Now, number 3 on the list. This is a tough one. You want to go with, goalie X is going to win us the cup, goalie B is going to win us the cup, goalie A is going to win this cup, our number 1 is going to win us the cup. We don't have that luxury here in the Oilers realm. It is a pick you up, put you in kind of deal for the Edmonton Oilers, right? If Mike Smith falters, Mikko Koskinen comes in, picks him up, puts himself in there, succeeds, and then Mike Smith picks him up when he falters. So that's the way. End of the way, any way you put it. I could have just put goaltending here. No, these two guys, if we get them doing good things, they deserve their name recognition, not just in the playoffs. And I swear if I hear it, goaltending's been good for the Oilers in the playoffs. Goaltending stole the show for the Oilers in the playoffs, but it's been both Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith. I will lose my mind. I am sorry. These guys have not been disrespected by fans around the NHL all season when it comes to, if the Oilers are going to fall apart, it's because Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith. If they start succeeding, they are the heroes of this playoff run. They deserve to be said. Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith are the reason the Oilers are winning in the playoffs, not goaltending. Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith. They deserve the name recognition. That's why they're on here at number 3. The tandem. Well, you know what? We go far. They're going to have to step up. Are they going to be heroes? I don't know. That's why they're at number 3 here. Now, obviously, where have I mentioned McDavid? Where have I mentioned DRAISAITL? Okay. I'm going to make it obvious. It is obvious. Honestly, likely playoff heroes? Yeah. Number 2, Leon DRAISAITL. I think you can guess who number 1 is. I'll get to that in a second. But number 2, likely hero, I already mentioned it off the top, right? Leon DRAISAITL lit up the playoffs last time he was in 16-17. So you give him a chance here in 19-20 coming off of an MVP caliber year because he still isn't officially the Hart Trophy winner. But you know what? You give him a chance in the playoffs, whew, man, he's going to light it up. But number 2, he's number 2 for a reason, is the fact that, it was the year of Leon DRAISAITL in the regular season. But number 1 reason, Connor McDavid is number 1 most likely playoff hero in my book, is because of this. You had all season long Leon DRAISAITL saying, playoffs is the goal. Playoffs is the goal. We're going for the playoffs. Screw that whole, we're competing for the playoffs. We're going. We're either going or we're not. There is no, we're competing. It's, we're going to be there. We're going to be there. We need to be there. We should be there. Leon DRAISAITL was beating the drum of playoffs all season long. Problem is, for the entirety of his career, Connor McDavid has had everybody else beating that drum for him, right? He has had everybody else saying playoffs is the goal. Playoffs have to be the goal for the Oilers and Connor McDavid. Playoffs this. Connor McDavid deserves playoffs. Connor McDavid this. Well, you know why Connor McDavid's the number 1 most likely playoff hero in my books? Is because this is his chance to shine, and he is not a guy who shies away from the spotlight and a chance to shine when it matters most. And I mean, you know what? Leon DRAISAITL had his chance to shine this year in the regular season, and you are kidding me if Connor McDavid hasn't seen that all year and said, he can have it. I'm going to show up and absolutely do stupid things in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And yeah, I 100% expect likely Connor McDavid will put up a stupid playoff run, and that's another likely reason why the Edmonton Oilers will win the Stanley Cup this year. So, kind of a tie-in back to that other video, but my goodness, 5 likely heroes. Ennis at number 5. You've got James Neal at number 4, just waiting in the wings to score some greasy goals. The goaltending, no. Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith are going to be a reason. DRAISAITL, obviously. Connor McDavid, yeah, just wait to see how stupid he gets in the playoffs in terms of putting up the craziest numbers we have potentially seen in a playoff round in a lot of years. And the thing about Connor McDavid is he doesn't necessarily need to get a point to put up stupid numbers. The guy could be on the ice for all 5 goals, get that plus 3 or 4, whatever, after allowing a couple goals against. But he is the main reason all 5 of those goals went in, even though he's not credited. That's the talent of Connor McDavid, and that's what I expect to see in the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson Dolany. This is Dolany TV. I will catch you in the next one.